Point of view,
Nedlac is a statutory body in the country that facilitates cooperation between government, labour, business and community organisations. Recently, its relevance in a changing country has been thrust into the spotlight, with some calling for it to be fit for purpose. The findings from the research report identify some strengths as well as weaknesses against the body. Dr Ongama Mtimka, one of the authors of the report, says they looked at comments that stakeholders of Nedlac made in the media since 2019 to date. This includes media interviews as well as a review of what Nedlac says about itself. Mtimka says the key findings is that Nedlac has stabilized as an organization and that it is still an organization that is necessary to coordinate socio-economic development and policy making.
However, we noted that the mandate of Nedlac has been narrowed in practice compared to the very broad mandate that is in the Act. And we see that the narrowing comes mainly from the constitution of Nedlac, which qualifies some of the broad principles that are stated in the Act. But the constitution is very clear that nothing which is a provision in the constitution of Nedlac has preeminence over the Act. Right. But in practice, we see that the mandate of Nedlac became just about, involvement in the lawmaking process. Stakeholders have raised their views about that.
Dr. Mtimka says, according to stakeholders, the fragmentation within labour structures, for example, has given rise to some competitive rivalry, particularly when it comes to concessions. And this, as well as the bypassing of Nedlac by government, adds to the concerns.
Stakeholders feel that Nedlac is being undermined significantly, especially by government, where you find that it's no longer treated seriously. Ministers choose when or when not to go, also senior government officials, and sometimes some of the bills that should start at Nedlac don't start at Nedlac. And that's a function of the ambiguity about what constitutes social and economic policy.
The study recommends a thorough review of Nedlac's mandate and its relevance in the current political and economic landscape. It also includes addressing intra-organizational fragmentation and enhancing the quality of representation and leadership. COSATU's Matthew Parks says, while challenges may exist, but he has seen how Nedlac has helped to shape policy for the benefit of the workers.
I mean, humans are not perfect, and I think criticisms can make you stronger to assess where can you improve, what are the gaps. We share many of the criticisms ourselves, in terms of we have to always assess that Nedlac is not just about having meetings, but about the impact on the ground. Can we grow the economy? Can we fix the state? Can we deliver public services? Can we reduce unemployment and poverty? So if on all the indicators, we're still in a crisis as a country, but I think also it did reflect good things too, that the value of Nedlac is that you have social dialogue, that government listens to the challenges business hears, business listens to the frustrations of workers, and out of it we often are able to find solutions, not perfect solutions, but we can point to many good things that have been huge things that have been achieved at Nedlac. From a minimum wage which has raised the wage of 6 million workers who were paid peanuts before, not perfect, but it's progress. During COVID-19, we were able to help coordinate the rolling out of a huge socio-economic relief package which benefited millions of workers, 65 billion rand from the UF, helping 5.7 million workers. Relief channeled into struggling SMMEs, restaurants, etc. The SAD grant helping unemployed persons, the health and safety, the vaccination campaign.
The CEO of the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ellen Mokoki, agrees that more work needs to be done among partners.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done within Nedlac, and all of us as participants, as partners, social partners as they always say, we have a responsibility to play to strengthen that negotiation, that cooperating thing. And I think that there is an opportunity to really deliver on the objectives of Nedlac in terms of the things that we're discussing in terms of bringing high quality contributions to how we can do this issue around economic growth, how we can do the trade and industrial policy environment, how we can do social equity, because we're actually lagging behind in that particular sphere, and how we can get a much more higher level of increased participation within the Nedlac structures.
Lucas Kagaza of the South African National Civic Organization says Nedlac needs to be preserved.
Going ahead, I do think that Nedlac is
is an institution that needs to be treasured because it is revered worldwide that it's an institution that is necessary so that issues can actually be traced aside of the politicians by people who actually have got vested interest in those issues. And therefore the future of Nedlac is good, but of course it would need to be revamped and make sure that it's fit for purpose.
Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.